Welcome back to the 2010 Veterans Day Parade in New York City, marching proudly up Fifth Avenue. And Paul, the veterans of your war, they're in front of us now.
And you notice they're Korean veterans of our war marching by as well. So they had the American force first, then the Koreans are coming back. And I think it's wonderful. The Korean vets of America did not get a welcome home parade. They're getting one today.
Paul, what made you decide to go to West Point?
It was interesting. I had already decided to go to Yale, and I went by to visit West Point. I met with the swimming coach, came back to my high school in St. Louis, and the athletic director said, "You will be a better person if you go to West Point for only one day. Don't miss the opportunity." And I went thinking I was going to still go to Yale, and 6 months later I realized I was still at West Point, and I called Yale and said, "I'm not coming," and the coach said, "We knew long ago." So it was a wonderful opportunity in my life, and I often comment that much of what I've learned later after West Point, the foundation was laid in that curriculum.
How valuable do you think military service is for any young man or woman?
I think it's a wonderful opportunity. When you graduate from college, it gives you a chance to explore what you might want to be. The challenges, the most important challenge is leadership. There's a young person, 21, 22, if you graduate from college and are an officer, you face in front of you 23, 24 people, some of whom are twice your age, and you are their leader. You have been entrusted with the most valuable resource, the most valuable treasure of a family in America, to not only teach and to train and to lead, but perhaps lead them in combat, which means your obligation is to bring them home. So it's a tremendous opportunity, and it's a leadership training extraordinaire.
Elise is standing by now with the president of the United War Veterans, Vince McGowan. Elise?
Hi, I have Vince McGowan, the president of the United War Veterans Council. Vince, can you tell me why New Yorkers have a new appreciation for honoring service?
New Yorkers' appreciation for service goes back to the founding of the city, when we took over the job of celebrating service with the United War Veterans Council. Archives have shown that New York City has never failed to find a way of appreciating the men and women that it sends out to enforce and to make sure that our peace and security is ensured. There was a low point of it back in the 80s when the citizens seemed to reject service and all things connected with it. We've been able to help New Yorkers find a way to understand that there is a way for a citizen soldier to be a federal troop and still come home and fit back into their community and find their life again. This administration in the city now has been very helpful in finding that path, and we wanted to do a shout out to all of the servicemen and women out there fighting for us in the nation's longest war now, to let them know that when they came home, we'll be here for them, and we'll make sure that they have the best time of their lives when they're in New York City. Fleet Week, Veterans Day, Memorial Day, it's all about them, and it's our honor to be able to help them celebrate it.
Thank you, Vince. Now back to Chuck and Paul.
Well, if Vince could just work up a little enthusiasm, he'd be okay.
Well, God bless him. He does more for veterans in this city than anybody I know. He's a tremendous leader.
All right, let's take a look. What's going on in the parade right here?
Now we have the Seaman High School
Medal honor recipients right there. There are 4 of them, as I mentioned today. 3 of them right there, 1 sitting right next to me. And Paul, let's talk a little bit about the Medal of Honor. You won the Medal of Honor 42 years ago. It was a busy day for you. But actually, I'm just told that we're gonna hold off on the Medal of Honor because my colleague Brian Williams has to join them. You know, he is on the board of directors of the Medal of Honor Foundation. So they're going by right now. Eventually, we're going to be able to talk to these wonderful guys, and one of them is World War II vet.
Yes, on the person on the left, as you're looking at it, is Nick Oresco. And Nick is a World War II veteran. He received his medal at the Battle of the Bulge. And then next to him is Gary Bykirk, Vietnam, and Bruce Crandall, Vietnam. Bruce, you'll notice, is wearing a cavalry hat. That means he was a pilot and was a medevac pilot, so he was in a helicopter. All 3 wonderful men. Gary Bykirk from the state of New York, but Nick Oresco, born and raised in New Jersey and returned back to New Jersey.
I think you saw the movie We Were Soldiers Once and Young. You saw our cavalryman in action.
Correct.
Because he had an extraordinary day in action in the Battle of the Idrang Valley.
And he waited a while to get his medals, and sometimes, like the World War II men, got their medals during the war, often presented by a general in the field. Vietnam, all of us were brought back to the White House to receive our medals from the president. And some people didn't get their medals for 20, 30, 40 years. World War II, African Americans were posthumously awarded it retroactively. And same thing with our Asian Americans. Senator Inouye, for example, received his Medal of Honor almost 40 years after the war. So it's a nice thing to know that the Medal of Honor, which is not a recognition of the person, it's a recognition of the potential that exists in every person, because all of the recipients, if you ask them, they were just doing their jobs and they're just ordinary Americans. So the nice thing about it is when they honor a Medal of Honor recipient, without fail, that recipient accepts that honor on behalf of the men and women he had the privilege of serving with, and all of those veterans who were not honored.
And that's why they and you like to be referred to as a recipient, not a winner.
Correct. It's not a contest.
Yeah.
And the first living Medal of Honor recipient from the Iraq-Afghanistan War will be recognized next Tuesday. Sergeant Gunter, who was with the 173rd in Italy.
We have some wonderful sponsors this parade, Paul, and one of those is Walmart. They're an enthusiastic member of a large and growing number of companies that understand and appreciate the very real benefits of recruiting military talent. And for Walmart, every day they say is Veterans Day.
Walmart spoke to me personally because it is a large organization. Like the military, you can kind of go wherever. Once I finished my commitment in this store, I could maybe go to a different state or even a different city, different country even, and that really to me was an incredible opportunity. When you see someone in a military uniform, you instantly respect them. And so it really is a sense of pride, and I wanted to be part of an organization where I could be proud of what I did. The things that we do for the community, the values that we stand for, the history with Sam Walton, how can you not be proud?
A few years ago, I was coveted to be given the Sam Walton Leadership Excellence Award. This being the highest individual award given to an individual at Sam's Club is built on leadership and all the principles that the military have to offer.
In the military, no one is successful by themselves. You know what I mean? No, you can't. You don't have a single hero, contrary to popular belief. We don't have a single hero that goes out and saves the day for the unit.
You could not be successful if it was for that group, but there's no one man could do it. The biggest thing I learned was those men who were with me, were together.
And it's the same thing with Walmart. There's not one individual that's going to save the day in a store.
A lot of the skill sets, a lot of the things that we've learned in the military would definitely relate to our relationship at Walmart. I continue to see people and I say to them, hey, have you tried Walmart?
If you choose a job you love, and you'll never have to work